You know, there's a century-old industrial titan out there, a company whose machines literally weave the fabric of our daily lives. And right now, it's fighting for its own survival. So let's dive right in. Is the Japanese loom giant, Tsudakoma, on the verge of a massive rebound, or is the whole thing about to unravel? Today, we're breaking down their 2025 deep dive. First, let's get some perspective. Tsudakoma is not some flash-in-the-pan tech company. I mean, they were founded way back in 1909. They started out mastering the art of building looms for silk and rayon. Then by 1968, they expanded into high-precision machine tools. This company has over a century of industrial DNA baked into it. But as you can see, 2025 finds them at a really critical and, frankly, very dangerous crossroads. And if you want to understand their impact, just look down. Seriously. The shirt you're wearing right now, the fabric on your car seats, maybe even some advanced materials in the airplanes you fly in, chances are a Tsudakoma machine had a hand in making it. They're this quiet giant, a totally critical but mostly unseen part of the global manufacturing chain. But that incredible legacy is now under some serious threat. So let's take a look at why this industrial giant is suddenly in such deep, deep water. Okay, what's really fascinating here is just how fast things went south. In fiscal year 2024, Tsudakoma managed to pull off a small profit, about 488 million yen. But just 1 year later, bam, that completely flipped into a 262 million yen loss. This isn't some slow decline, people. This is a sharp, really painful plunge back into the red. And hey, don't just take my word for it. This quote is pulled directly from the company's own official securities report. When a company starts publicly saying there is significant uncertainty about its ability to continue as a going concern, well, that's pretty much the loudest alarm bell you can ring in the financial world. So what on earth is causing this crisis? Well, according to the analysis from HDIN Research, Tsudakoma is being absolutely hammered by a perfect storm of external forces. They've identified what they're calling a triple threat. 3 things the company has almost no control over. So what are they? First up, you've got geopolitical friction. Second, some wild currency volatility. And third, the supply chain chaos that just won't seem to go away. Let's break down exactly how each one of these is hitting Tsudakoma's bottom line. This really lays out the geopolitical trap Tsudakoma is stuck in. See, their single biggest market is China. But when US-China trade tensions get hot, Chinese textile factories get nervous. They pull back and slash their spending on new, high-end machines. At the exact same time, any little strain in the direct relationship between Japan and China immediately sours their business environment there. They are caught in a classic pincer movement of global politics. Then you have this currency paradox. Now, you might think a strong home currency is always a good thing, right? But for a massive exporter like Tsudakoma, it's absolute poison. When the Japanese yen gets stronger, the price of their machines in dollars or euros just skyrockets. All of a sudden, their amazing state-of-the-art looms become way too expensive for foreign customers, who then, naturally, start looking for cheaper alternatives. A strong yen literally prices them out of their own markets. So, with all these huge external pressures, how can they possibly fight back? Well, the answer, and really their only hope, lies in the one thing they can control: their technology. This is their potential lifeline. To really get their advantage, we need to talk about their technical moat. It's a great business term. Think of it like a castle's moat, right? But instead of water, it's filled with patents, engineering secrets, and know-how that competitors just can't copy. It's a protective barrier, and Tsudakoma's has been built over decades of relentless R&D. So how does this technical moat actually play out in the real world? Well, Exhibit A is their secret sauce, the next generation Xeox 001 Neo Plus airjet loom. And this isn't just some minor update. This is a machine designed from the ground up to solve today's biggest manufacturing challenges. For starters, it's just faster. A full 10% increase in machine speed. Now, for a textile factory running 24/7, that translates directly into higher output and more profit. It's a pure productivity play. It's just more money in their pocket. But this is the real game changer. It gets that higher speed while using 15% less energy. In a world that's more and more focused on ESG, that's environmental, social, and governance standards, and dealing with crazy high energy costs, this is a massive, massive selling point. It makes their customers not just more profitable, but also greener. And listen, their technical moat goes way beyond just textiles. Their precision machinery division is also on the absolute cutting edge. They're making critical components for the mega casting trend in EV manufacturing. They're developing automation systems to help factories deal with labor shortages. And they're building the super specialized machines needed to work with carbon fiber for the aerospace industry. This is deep, diversified, serious tech. So you've got the huge financial trouble on one hand, but this incredible tech on the other. What does it all add up to? Let's turn to the final verdict from the analysts at HDIN Research, who really dug into the numbers. The analyst view is crystal clear. Management is not focused on some ambitious growth plan right now. No, they're in survival mode. Every single decision they make is about stabilizing the company, cutting costs, and just stopping the financial bleeding before they can even think about thriving again. In this chart, this shows you exactly where that survival fight is happening. Over 85% of their revenue comes from that one single division, textile machinery. So while their machine tool business is super advanced, the company's fate rests almost entirely on their ability to sell looms. The room for error here is razor thin. And this brings us to the most crucial point in the analyst's report. This quote. They're calling it a passing grade self-rescue. Just think about that for a second. That's not an A-plus turnaround. It's not a victory lap. It means they're doing just enough, right now, to keep their head above water. They're passing the test, but they are right on the edge of failing. And this brings us to the final critical takeaway. It all boils down to this. Having a technological advantage is great. Having a brilliant R&D department is absolutely necessary, but it's not enough. The entire story of Tsudakoma's Rebound hinges on one single thing: converting that amazing technical moat into signed, sealed, and profitable orders. Period. Which leaves us with the ultimate question. There's really no doubt that Tsudakoma has the engineering skill, the innovation, the raw technology to pull itself back from the brink. But in a world that is constantly being rocked by geopolitics, currency swings, and just plain old uncertainty, will that technology be enough? That is the multi-million-dollar question on the table. If you want a more detailed breakdown and the complete analysis from HDIN Research, you can download their full report at the link you see right there.